Welcome back to the channel, folks. Today we're doing some work back on the 3rd gen Prelude manual transmission. Where I left off last time was we dropped the transmission out of the Prelude, and today I need to go in there, take off the clutch and the flywheel, so that way I can basically put some pieces back together, get the Prelude off of jack stands, roll it back into its spot, because I need those jack stands for the Tacoma. In the past few days, I've developed a really gnarly creaking, squeaking noise for my steering in the Tacoma. So I'm hoping that it's gonna be the lower ball joints. I went ahead and ordered a couple, and I need the jack stands to put underneath the Tacoma to do the job. So first we gotta take apart the clutch and the flywheel, and then we'll put the Prelude back on the ground, take those jack stands, and we'll get to work on the Tacoma. We need to take off the clutch, pressure plate, and flywheel in there, and went searching through all my tools, and I could not find the socket for the pressure plate bolts right there. Those are a 12.10 millimeters. So I had to run to the parts store real quick to grab one of these, and now I should be able to hopefully get all these off easily. Oh my gosh, I bought the wrong one, dude. I needed like the smaller, thinner walled one because I can't get it seated totally onto the head. It's about 80% over it, so I might just send it and try it, but oh man, it's just L's after L's with this stuff. All right, so after 2 stops, and hours later, I have the socket ID, and I'm gonna save you guys some trouble. If you're pulling the pressure plate and clutch and flywheel off, you're gonna need and write this down, a 3/8 drive, deep socket, 10 millimeter, 12 point. If you don't have one of these, it's gonna be a challenge getting them off, because you need the length and you need the narrowness of basically the deep socket. And then I guess you could do a 1/2 inch or a 3/8 as long as you get the deep socket, but I think 3/8 is a safer bet. Go. It actually looks to be in pretty good shape too. Not bad. Flywheel looks pretty good after I resurfaced it when I put it on last time. Now the flywheel is held on by 8 12.17 mils. So I'm gonna work my way around and get these all off. I'll just slowly undo this one. This flywheel is pretty heavy, so I don't want it to drop. There's the last of them. We pull the flywheel off. There's our rear main seal, and hopefully the cause of our oil leak. Got the jack out from underneath the Prelude. I went ahead and put the front motor mount back on, so now the motor is holding itself. And I also went ahead and put the cross member back, the jack point in the center here, so that way I can basically put some wheels back on the front and get this whole thing taken down, so that way I can grab these jack stands. I went ahead and reattached the lower control arms, these rods here on both sides. We've got no axles in here, but I can go ahead and take these lug nuts off and get ready to put the wheels on. Straight 3-wheeling. What the hell is that? Oh, running into the damn tire. Prelude is back in its home for now, and look at that, it's even got all the heritage wheels back on. Looking somewhat familiar. I'm gonna go ahead and order a new oil pan and oil pan gasket and a new rear main seal for this thing. So those will be coming up, and then I also have a couple leads on some 5-speed manual transmissions in some of the surrounding states, so wish me luck there. But now I've freed up the jack and both jack stands to start working on this here Tacoma. Sun is starting to go down. It's getting later in the day. It took me most of the day getting those 2 sockets, one of which actually worked, so spent a lot of hours wasted there. And then getting the Prelude off of jack stands proved to be challenging, but we got the flywheel off, we got the clutch off. Prelude has its wheels and is back on the ground. Tacoma is up in the air with the wheel off, ready to get a new lower ball joint tomorrow, or 2 of them. So I will catch you guys in the morning. I'm gonna call it for the night, and I'll see you guys in 1 sec. Ooh, it is a blistering cold one, even though the sun is out. We're about ready to get started here on the Tacoma. I've got all the tools I need, and I've got actually a little notebook here with all of the instructions on how to do it, the size of the sockets I'll be needing, as well as the torque specs that I'll need to tighten everything back down to. So let's just get right into it. The first thing we're gonna do is break loose, not remove, but just break loose these 4 14 mil bolts. There we go. And there's 3. And there's 4. Next we need to remove this outer tie rod, so we need to take off this cotter pin, and it's a 19 mil. Okay, so it turns out mine is actually a 22 mil. Okay, 22 mil castle nuts off. We've got the outer tie rod almost all the way removed. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there right now, and we'll jump underneath the hub and take off the castle nut. Again, we're gonna take off the cotter pin and the castle nut on the actual lower ball joint itself. And this is a 24 mil. No, it's not. And then the castle nut here is a 22 mil. And then we'll use the, try and use the press here in the same fashion to get this guy out. Now those 4 14 mils that we loosened up right off the bat, we're gonna go ahead and finish pulling those out the rest of the way. There's 1. You could probably just do this by hand. And there's 4. So now this lower ball joint should technically be separated. You might need to use the jack to push this the rest of the way out, or not. We can just lift up on the hub and maybe pull this guy right out. Wow, there's so much dirt up in there. That's disgusting. Okay, so there's lower ball joint there. And now we just need to get it off the tie rod. And off the tie rod. And out it comes. Oh, that's dusty and dirty. Here's our new passenger side lower ball joint. It actually comes with this little greasing nipple here, so I just installed that. It also comes with 4 new bolts, a new cotter pin, as well as a new castle nut. So now the process is just the same in reverse. We're gonna go ahead and put the new one in, get those 4 bolts in, and then just put the tie rod back on and all the castle nuts. Here's a side-by-side of the new bolt and the old bolt. You can tell the new bolt is a bit shorter and it has a different head on it. In fact, the ones that were on the truck are 14 mils and these are actually a 17 mil. I'm not sure if I should reuse the old ones or try these new ones out, and the new ones are just different because it's a Moog lower ball joint and not an OEM Toyota. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try and drive those bolts in. I think I just need to get at a better angle to get them started to thread in there. The other one that Rock Auto sent me in a Moog box is definitely not a Moog ball joint, so I might just be replacing the passenger side today. Everything's put back on. Time to turn the truck on and see what happens when we turn the wheel. Hopefully no more creak. Alright, so we finished up on the Prelude earlier. We got the clutch and the flywheel off, and go ahead and order the rear main seal. I'll go ahead and try and source a oil pan and an oil pan gasket. If not, I'll just have to make do with my current oil pan and seal it up if needed. And then the Tacoma, got it running again. I was without a working vehicle for about a week waiting for the parts to get here, and then a good not rainy day to install the ball joint. I'll have to wait till another time to do the driver's side. Rock Auto just sent me the wrong part, so we'll wait on that. Working on a few transmission deals, hopefully have a new 5-speed for the Prelude here in the coming weeks. Stay tuned for that. Should be exciting to hopefully get that car running. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Helps YouTube reach more people, like-minded folks who would also enjoy this content. And keep elevating, guys. I will see you next time. Adios.